Okay. Story 1. My girlfriend broke up with me after an expensive dinner. My family paid for me and my girlfriend at the same time to go out for a really expensive meal for my 21st birthday. The entire meal came to $300. She broke up with me as I was driving her back home. Story 2. My sister ruined my surprise birthday twice. My 18th birthday was intended to be a huge surprise, one that had been planned by my sister, mother, and grandmother for weeks. On the eve of my birthday, my half-witted half-sister explained to me, in great detail, everything that was planned for my birthday, as if I was supposed to know. The worst part is that she continued to talk over my family members as they tried to shut her up. A family fight erupted, leaving my mother and sister crying over their failed surprise. Story 3. My girlfriend forgot about my 19th birthday. I was really excited for my 19th birthday. I was going to have lunch with my girlfriend, hang out with my friends after, and end the evening with pizza at my parents' home, as is family tradition. The girlfriend's mom picks me up, no car at the time because I was living with the girlfriend and paying rent, and we go down to my girlfriend's university. She has to pick up some books, so we go to the bookstore, and she kills 2 hours waiting in line and shopping for clothing. Not all the books were bought, so we went to an off-campus bookstore and waited another hour or so in line. I text my friends and cancel our plans. We then go to an Italian restaurant. She spends the whole time talking to her mom about something that the mom's most recent boyfriend did. I started chatting up the server and she mentioned that it was my birthday. She wished me a happy birthday. My girlfriend looked at me puzzled. She had forgotten about it. It's now 8 p.m. and we're driving home. I'm in the backseat and I call my parents and tell them that I'll be home soon. There's an accident down the road on the freeway. My parents call and ask where I am. I tell them to eat without me. 3 hours later, we are out of the traffic jam and I go to my parents' home and cry. I broke up with her a few weeks later because she had been cheating on me for months and I was still salty about her forgetting my birthday and ruining that day. My dad ran over our cat. My friends and I went and saw a movie for my birthday. My father picked us up after the film was over and we headed back to my house for the sleepover portion of the evening. We're pulling into the driveway and as my dad opens the garage door, we see our cat run across the spot where he is going to pull into. My friend jokingly says, "Hopefully you won't hit the cat," which is followed by laughter. The car pulls into the driveway and we hear an extra thud, thud, as the van makes its way into its spot. We all look at each other, of course, hoping it was indeed the cat. My 2 friends who were riding up front get out of the car first, and one of them gives a blood-curdling scream. He yells, "It was the cat!" And my other friend screams, "It's pancaked!" I jump out and my father is trying to hide the body from us. He cleaned up the mess and buried her in the backyard while my friends and I all cried in the basement. My mother called each of my friends' parents to explain what had happened and informed them that their son may be a little sad tomorrow. So whenever anyone asked me if I have a cat, I said, "Well, I did." My boyfriend left me at a bar without telling me. The week leading up to my 21st birthday, my, now ex-boyfriend had been ignoring me. So the day comes when we take a boat ride. It's not my idea, but hey, who cares? It's only my birthday. Naturally, after we end up at the bars as we're working our way back home, and I'm incredibly drunk by the time we get there. Seeing this, he decides that now would be a good time to pick a huge argument with me in the middle of the bar, following a dramatic exit so he could smoke a cigarette, or so I assumed. It wasn't until I realized it had been 20 minutes or so that I walked outside to realize he had left me there. I snooped and found out about my surprise party and my wife's affair. My wife was acting suspicious. She was closing windows on her computer whenever I'd glance over. She was keeping secrets and she was missing at mysterious times. I was worried she was cheating, so I did some snooping. It turns out that she was throwing me a surprise party in my home state with all of my closest friends who I haven't seen in years. And she was also having an affair. My best friend hit me instead of the piñata. On my 10th birthday, my mom got a piñata. My best friend was trying to hit the piñata and on his backswing. He clocked me right in the forehead. On his forward swing, he broke open the piñata. All my friends saw the candy and immediately rushed to it while I was laying on the ground bleeding with a huge gash right above my eyebrow. I had to go to the hospital and get 5 stitches. My dad left us right before my birthday. My dad left 2 days before my 10th birthday. Then, on my 14th birthday, I was having a party and I was really, really excited to see my dad. But he called during the party to say he wasn't coming because my then stepsister had a ball game he had to go to. My brother slammed my face against the table. When I was 7, my brother tried slamming my face into my cake, but missed the cake and literally just slammed my face against the table. I started crying and got blood all over my cake. This happened again when I was 9. I had whooping cough and stayed in the basement. During my 16th birthday, I had whooping cough. My parents still wanted to have a party, but obviously I couldn't be around, so I stayed in the basement as my family had a party upstairs. They put a piece of cake at the top of the stairs for me. A car ran over my foot 3 times. I was 10 or 12 years old and in Philadelphia on holiday with the family. We were going to the car to go celebrate my birthday. The car is parked on the side of the road and I had to get in on the driver's side due to the passenger door not working. I regrettably was wearing dress shoes and I learned real quick that dress shoes and icy roads don't mix. I slipped and fell right on my back. I was going to get up but saw a car coming. I didn't react fast enough and the car ran right over my foot and the rear tire rested on top of my foot. Now, you can imagine the sound of a child would make getting their foot run over, but me, I got it run over 3 times. The driver freaked out and popped the car in reverse, and then the front tire was resting on my foot, more screaming from me, and then rolled forward. Luckily, at the hospital, the doctor said my foot was saved by the shoe because the dress shoe was a size too small. My parents joked about it, saying, "So what do you think of your birthday gift?" I was on crutches for 2 weeks and am now walking just fine. I got stood up. My best friend and fuck buddy had moved back to his home state. I was very stupidly head over heels for him, so when he kept trying to convince me to come down and see him, I decided to take a vacation time from work for my birthday and do it. He told me he would pick me up from our friend's place where I was staying after he got out of work, and then he would take me to a dinner for my birthday. I'm not typically a girly person at all, but I did my hair, put on some subtle makeup, and wore the new dress I had bought just for the trip. I waited, and waited, and waited. I guess I was expecting romantic dinner, drinks, and sex after. Instead, I got a call from one of his friends telling me that she didn't feel okay with what he was doing to me, letting me think he cared by inviting me to come visit him, etc., and told me that, unbeknownst to me, he'd gotten another girl he'd been dating since he moved home pregnant. The friends I was staying with were all at work until 1 a.m., and I had taken the bus down to go see him, so I had nowhere to go. I spent my birthday with mascara running down my face, sobbing on my friend's couch alone watching television. My teacher accused me of putting laxatives in a cake. I was born April 1st. My birthdays are always terrible. This was my worst so far. I went to a small school, and in 3rd grade on my 8th birthday, I bought cake to share with my class, like everyone else did on their own birthdays. When I walked in that morning, the teacher yelled at me for having cake because it obviously wasn't my birthday and accused me of putting laxatives in it. Before I could respond, she rips my pride and joy, a 3-layer chocolate cake, out of my hands and throws it in the trash. I started crying as she wrote me up and recommended the cops be called for attempted assault. I knew the principal really well because she'd pulled me out of class and supervised my physical therapy 3 times a week, so she eventually calmed me down enough to explain, and she actually got my mom's permission to sign me out and buy me a cake to share at lunchtime. She was the highlight of my day. Despite that, the fucking teacher sent notes home with other students saying that I was lying about my birthday, so they should ignore my homemade invitations as a mere prank, and that nobody would actually be at my birthday. Later that day, my parents and I had set everything up and made enough food for the 30 kids I invited, plus relatives that we were expecting. Not a single classmate came, and I was told every year after that I should stop trying to prank everyone. It's not funny. My dad started screaming in the middle of a theme park. I was very young, and I had been looking forward to going to a theme park for weeks. All my friends pulled out at the last minute, so it was just me and my direct family. Everything seemed to be going okay, but I soon found out that my dad hates roller coasters because they give him headaches or something. He's normally a friendly guy, but something I said must have set him off. My dad just started screaming at me that nobody else but me even wants to be at the theme park, and I shouldn't be forcing people to be unhappy for my own sake. He screamed at me until I started crying. So there's me on my birthday, without any of my friends, crying at one of the happiest places in the world. My boyfriend tried to cook dinner but started a kitchen fire. On my 22nd birthday, my boyfriend at the time was cooking me dinner. He started a large kitchen fire. The fire extinguisher had to be used, ruining all of the food in the process. Later that night, he accidentally punched my kid in the face. Not super hard, my son just kind of walked into his hand, and later broke a glass of red wine all over the white carpet. It was by far the most memorable birthday to date. It was certainly a recipe for disaster at every turn, but I enjoyed the day nonetheless. No one showed up at my Super Bowl birthday party. My birthday is at the very end of January, so often this coincides with the Super Bowl. My 16th birthday was going to be a Super Bowl party. I gave out a ton of invites, paper and verbal. I had a bunch of people say they would swing by, either for the whole thing or for the first half. I put out snacks and had the game on the big screen. I only had 2 people show up and they didn't even come inside. They just dropped off a small cake on their way to a different Super Bowl party. At halftime, I finally gave up hope that anyone else was showing up and told my mom to put the snacks away as I was going to bed. I threw up in a ball pit. I threw up in a ball pit at a birthday place on my 5th birthday. A kid stole my scooter during my party. I had a big 10th birthday party and got a scooter as my big present. My mom invited a kid I didn't like because she was friends with his mom. This kid ends up stealing my scooter and taking it home. When I told my mom about it, she just told me, "He's your friend, let him keep it, that's what friends do." No, Mom, it's been 11 years and I still want my scooter back. A $2,600 check bounced and my boyfriend dumped me. My 24th, my boyfriend had dumped me 2 days prior. Also, I had gotten one of those cash this checks and will up your credit limit deals. So I did, and was so excited because I was poor and behind on all my bills. So I sent checks out to everyone, but that $2,600 check bounced because I hadn't paid that credit card. So I had to call all of the employees to explain they would soon be getting a check in the mail, but they couldn't cash it or it would bounce. To confirm my identity, they all asked me when is my birthday. It's today. Yep, and I'm home alone calling you because I am too poor to go out, and just got dumped.